Hey there, welcome back to the Hollywood Actors Guide to Surviving the Film and Television Industry. This is your host, Jennifer Lynn Warren. Today, we are going to talk about centering yourself. Now, I want you to pick a character that you would either love to play or would have loved to play. It doesn't matter if it was already done by a famous actor. Maybe you're thinking Stanley in Streetcar Named Desire, Lady Macbeth, Macbeth himself, Hamlet, Ophelia. Maybe you're thinking of somebody in a recent, maybe you're thinking even Thor in Love and Thunder, Tom Cruise's character in Top Gun. I don't care who it is, just a character. And I'm so sorry, those are mostly males. Oh my goodness. But yeah, apologize. Anyway, there's just stuff I've been, working, just watching lately. So it's on my head. What can you do? But that's what I want you to do. I want you to think of a character that you would have loved to play or would love to play in the future. Now let's talk about centering. You have to know where you are in a moment to know where your character is going. So do a body scan. Where is the center of your body right now? Do you feel like most of your weight is? And if you're someplace where you can see people, I want you to look around. Watch people. Check out their personalities. And where are they leading from physically? What can you learn from them to help you in creating characters? Maybe you see people and they're dragging their feet. That'll tell you something about them. Maybe they have really great posture. That's going to tell you a lot about them as well, especially, and there's the opposite, slumping forward. Like maybe they're slumping forward like they're trying to look under everything. I saw a girl walking down the street the other day. I say girl, she was probably in her 70s. And I thought she had bad posture. But then I noticed it just looked like she was obsessed with trying to look under things. So I don't know what she was looking for, but that was, I thought, very interesting. Maybe they're the type of person, when you look at them, they feel the weight of the world on their shoulders. And so what I want you to do is to take the character that you want to play in your head and imagine, or even get up if you're home and do this yourself. Where is your character that you want to play leading from? Are they dragging their feet? What kind of posture do they have? Where do they look? Do they, in the room? What is their focus? Because a lot of times wherever you're centered, like someone who's very centered, right, tends to have really great focus. Not always. Maybe they don't. Maybe your character doesn't. Maybe there's something else going on there. But somebody who maybe has the weight of the world on their shoulders, where do they feel that? Is it in their heart? Is it making their heart heavy? Or are you on cloud 9 because you're playing a character that's just fell in love in a story? Are you Juliet in Romeo and Juliet when you first meet Romeo? Or are you Juliet when you realize that you have to kill yourself? Where you feel your center is going to be different. And this extends, right? This extends to your character's voice. Now, when I say this, nothing is correct. What I mean is, I'm not trying to tell you that there is a place in which you should feel centered. There's no correct place. All that matters is what the demand of the role is that you're playing, right? The last character I played, my backstory, she had a very strict upbringing, very Catholic upbringing. She sat up. She had very good posture all the time. And she went into become she followed the career path of being a receptionist because she likes to help people. And she would lead with her heart. So anytime I would walk somewhere, I could feel that pull and that sense of urgency to kind of just fix things for everybody around me. And that changed how I would walk as the character, which is completely different as how I walk as Jennifer, right? So she was leading with her heart all the time. And when she was speaking, it was from a different place in her chest than I would normally speak. This is why we do the work. It's why we do the work. A lot of times people come to me with character work and they haven't thought about any of this. They're not even standing like the character would stand. And I need you to start thinking about these things. You have to think about it. Now, while you are thinking about how your character is centered, where the center of your character's voice is. I mean, if you're playing Thor in Love and Thunder, right? He's got he went through some stuff in Avengers, but now, he typically has a lot of confidence, and people who have a lot of confidence tend to speak from their belly, right? And they like to be heard. I'm not going to do it right now. I don't want to blow out my mic, but you know what I mean? Like, that man is probably not talking from his throat, in a very meek way. Like, if you talk from your throat, you tend to start sounding like a little bit like deferential to everybody around you, right? And then you talk from your heart and it tends to be warmer, and maybe you start to feel yourself slowing down. But if you're confident and you're talking below, you have to think about these things. And a lot of times when we think about making character choices, we think they have to be so big. And I would never be able to sound like Thor the way Chris sounds like Thor, right? I am never going to have that big thundering voice because I don't have a big thundering voice. However, if I was to play a character like that, I do have a register in my voice that is a bit more commanding, isn't it? Right? And so that, for me, I need to know what that is so that I can help myself and my character creations. Now, think about where your character's energy is in a scene, right? So if you are playing Juliet, since I brought that up earlier, and you are first meeting Romeo and you're connected to him and you're seeing him across the dance floor, you're directing your energy out, aren't you? You want him to see you. You want him to accept you. You want him to love you. You want him to think you're beautiful. And so you're putting all of your best beautiful things. You're just like you push that energy out in a scene like that, right? But then when she finds him dead, she's probably still pushing her energy out, but it's a little different, isn't it? It's a different type of energy. It's a longful energy of wanting to bring him back to life. And the energy just kind of swirls in and starts to get deeper and deeper into herself. And then she makes the decision to end her own life. You can use all of this stuff. Is your character grounded? Being centered and grounded are different things. We are all centered. We all have a center somewhere. There is a center somewhere that we're all leading from. Maybe you're leading from your knees. Doesn't matter. But is your character grounded? Do you feel like they really have 2 feet on the ground in this world? Or are they the type of person that's clumsy and they lose their footing in the world and they're kind of falling all over the place because they don't really know what they're doing with their lives? What happens if you think you're playing a really grounded character like Thor and then you make him lose his footing? That's what happened in Avengers. He had to change. I can't believe I'm using an Avengers analogy for you to study some acting. But if you look and you see what happens to Thor when he's he has all this power and everything, and then he falls on really hard times, look at the performance, look at the posture, look at his energy. Study where he puts his voice. The actor does a fantastic job doing that transformation, which is why we laugh so much, because we believe the transformation of this big, powerful, mighty God turning into this fat, slovenly, potato chip eating, down on his luck guy, right? Great character study there, I believe. Any character movement can be heightened by this type of awareness. You have to be aware of all this stuff. Does your character pick a flower gently, or do they pick it carelessly? Great actors are great because they are specific. Actors book roles because they are specific. And once you've done the work, you can let go of being aware of it. I'm not telling you to be self-aware. You need to rehearse and rehearse and rehearse until it's second nature. And you're not worried about any of that anymore. You're only worried about what the character wants in a moment. and you've already put everything into your body, and your body will remember. So you can let go of it. You can let go of being aware of it and just let the character take control. Because at that point, your character bodily will become so embedded into yours that you can start thinking about everything else. And all this stuff compounds to make playing a character easy. You'll know when you've finished doing the work on a character when it's no longer hard to step into that character's shoes. So if you want to rehearse doing this, go on to weaudition.com, pick out a scene, have something memorized, and literally just work on centeredness and grounding and where my voice is and all the stuff that we talked about on this podcast. See where you can go with a character. See how a character changes. See how you can, listen, if you become the 3 billionth person in the world to become Hamlet, and that stuff is going on film someday, you're gonna have to figure out a way to play him differently and make him stand out for people to want to watch your Hamlet versus everybody else's Hamlet out there. And this is just another beautiful, gorgeous tool that you can put in your toolkit. So thank you once again, We Audition, for being our sponsor. You can use our promo code HAG25, HAG25, to go on there, read with some people. I'm going to go on there for some fun tonight. Well, it's July 5th, so I won't be on there probably when this drops. But I like to drop in on there every now and then to see if anyone wants to play and have some fun. So that's it. Break a leg out there, and remember, you are not alone.